Sesame seed, the classic. Sesame seeds coat the outside and toast slightly during baking, adding a nutty, slightly smoky flavor to every bite. It pairs with almost anything: cream cheese, smoked salmon, butter. If you have never had a bagel before, this is the one that defines what a bagel is supposed to taste like. Cinnamon raisin, one of the most popular bagels in the world. Raisins are folded directly into the dough alongside cinnamon, making every slice sweet and aromatic throughout. It works with cream cheese, with butter, or completely plain. Simple, consistent, and impossible to get wrong. Everything. Sesame seeds, poppy seeds, garlic, onion, and coarse salt, all pressed onto the outside before baking. The result is a bagel that manages to be simultaneously salty, savory, crunchy, and aromatic. It pairs with nearly anything and has become one of the most ordered bagels in North America. Blueberry. Fruity and slightly sweet with a hint of tartness from the blueberries baked into the dough. It leans more toward dessert than savory and works best with cream cheese or butter. It is the kind of bagel that surprises people the first time. A fruit in bread dough sounds odd until it works. Garlic. Intensely aromatic, sometimes loaded with roasted garlic pieces on top and mixed into the dough. The smell alone announces it. It pairs best with strong cheeses or savory sandwiches and is genuinely not ideal if you have meetings afterward. One of the most flavor-forward bagels on any menu. Poppy seed. Similar in concept to sesame, but more subtle. Poppy seeds have a mild, slightly nutty flavor that does not overpower the dough itself. The texture adds a gentle crunch to each bite. Asiago cheese. A thick crust of Asiago cheese bakes directly onto the outside, turning golden and slightly crispy in the oven. The flavor is rich, sharp, and salty. It does not need much added to it, yet the cheese does all the work. One of the most indulgent savory options in the category. Apple cinnamon. Apple pieces and cinnamon folded into the dough, sweet and aromatic throughout. It sits somewhere between a bagel and a pastry. Technically breakfast, but closer to dessert. Best with butter or a sweet cream cheese spread. A seasonal favorite that people are always slightly surprised to enjoy as much as they do. Pumpernickel. Dark, dense, and slightly bitter with a faint sweetness underneath. Pumpernickel flour gives it a color and flavor unlike any other bagel on the list. It is the bagel for people who want something serious. Best with cured meats, strong cheeses, or thick savory spreads. Cheddar jalapeno. Sharp cheddar and sliced jalapenos baked together into the dough. The heat from the pepper and the richness of the cheese balance each other exactly right. It works as a breakfast sandwich base or eaten on its own. One of the rare bagels that genuinely functions as a full savory meal without needing much else added. Honey whole wheat. Made with whole wheat flour and a touch of honey, which gives it a slightly nutty flavor and a mild natural sweetness. It is denser than a plain bagel and more filling. The honey does not make it taste like dessert. It just softens the earthiness of the whole wheat into something more approachable. Maple French toast. Inspired by the breakfast dish and sweet, soft, and flavored with maple syrup. It is the most dessert-adjacent bagel on this list and makes no apology for it. Best eaten warm, possibly with butter. Not a sandwich bagel. Just a very convincing argument that breakfast should be sweet. Spinach Florentine. Spinach folded into the dough, sometimes with cheese, producing a bagel that looks slightly green and tastes genuinely different from everything else here. It is the most savory, gourmet-leaning option in the sweet category. Pairs well with eggs, smoked salmon, or herbed cream cheese. The kind of bagel that appears on brunch menus. 6 cheese. Exactly what it sounds like. A blend of 6 different cheeses baked into and onto the dough. Rich, aromatic, and dense. It is the most indulgent bagel on this list and does not pretend otherwise. Chocolate chip. Chocolate chips distributed through the dough, melting slightly during baking. Sweet, familiar, and hard to argue with. It works plain with butter or with a sweet cream spread. The bagel that children order and adults quietly wish they had ordered too. Ancient grain. Made with older grain varieties like spelt, quinoa, or amaranth instead of standard wheat flour. The flavor is more complex and slightly rustic. Denser, earthier, with a texture that feels more substantial. It is the bagel for people who think about what they are eating, and it actually delivers on the nutritional promise. Cheesy hash brown. A bagel built around the idea of a full breakfast. Hash brown, potato, and cheese baked together into the dough. Dense, filling, and unapologetically heavy. It is the closest a bagel has ever come to being an entire meal on its own. Pretzel. Treated with an alkaline wash before baking, the same process used for traditional pretzels, which gives the crust its distinctive deep brown color and chewy, slightly salty exterior. The inside stays soft while the outside has a bite to it. It is the most texturally interesting bagel on this list, familiar and unexpected at the same time. Cinnamon sugar. Simple and direct. Cinnamon and sugar coating the outside of the dough, caramelizing slightly in the oven. No raisins, no fillings, nothing complicated. Just sweetness and warmth in every bite. The bagel that reminds you that sometimes the least complicated version of a thing is also the best version. If this was useful, drop a like and subscribe. More food content like this is on the way.